Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about two things I'm super passionate about. One being how to construct your own minimalistic gym with very minimal space, and two, how to save money on that. And I'll have several links below linking to at least I would say 2 to 3 different sites where you can get all of these products from. And I had a couple of advantages where I work at a CrossFit gym, and the coaches there have been doing this for about 10 years. And I've lifted on very high-end barbells. They're called Usaka barbells. And I lifted on Rogue barbells, and I lifted on Eleiko barbells, and all of them are amazing. But the ones I did find were going for about $300. So I'll get into that a little bit later. Before I get started with that, I want to touch up back on those drop snatches. You gotta warm up for those, right? You definitely gotta warm up for those a whole lot better than what I did. That's very frustrating where that's supposed to be your quote warm up to get into dynamic movements like the power snatches, because you are emphasizing that final lock position with those drop snatches. Although drop snatches are extremely hard, I have definitely found success in doing overhead squats into SOT presses, just emphasizing that lockout position, and doing a couple of dynamic movements like, power snatches into a drop snatch, and just kind of feeling those joints lock out. So let's get into how I made my home gym. So I started out with some squat racks, some standalone squat racks. I actually got it from Groupon. I got it from Groupon. I saw it one day, and it was for about $180 if I remember, and the shipping took about a month or so. And you know what, it was worth the wait. It definitely was worth the wait. So that was my humble beginnings in building this the home gym I have currently, which you'll see later in the video. And that was just one thing that I had to start with. So got a squat rack. Awesome. Fantastic. The next one was I got a bench. And a bench was, if I recall, it was about 120 or so. I'll link a couple of ones that I had that were at least similar to that one. And it was good enough to do some incline, decline a little bit if you really wanted to. I don't like that because I don't like decline bench press personally, because I feel like there's, at least in my opinion, there's, if you want to hit the upper chest, yeah, there's others probably safer movements to do. And I just don't want to risk any weird things happening when I'm trying to do a decline bench press at like 185. So moving on from that, and I did actually got super lucky. Shout out to my friend Jeremy, who was actually moving to Vegas, and he was like, hey man, I know you like lifted weights in high school. I was wondering if you want to buy these these old weight sets that I have. So I was like, sure man, I'll swing by. So I went by, and he had about 300 pounds of mixed steel plates and bumper plates. And I asked him, like, what'd you do with these bumper plates before? He's like, like my brother used to lift with them, but he like stopped lifting after he hurt his back. And those, it was really crazy to run into bumper plates like those, because usually people don't use those without doing specific movements, like Olympic weightlifting or CrossFit or anything like that. So I got super lucky with that. So I got 300 pounds worth of mixed steel plates and bumper plates, and he also gave me 2 barbells. I would say, those barbells you have at 24-hour fitness, right? No spins. Oh shoot, that's what those pads are for, by the way. I'll get into that in just a second as well. So 2 barbells. One was a little loose, but it worked. I did bench on those. I did squats for the longest time, and I used those probably for about 3 years until I was able to get a barbell to do Olympic weightlifting, because before then I used to live in my parents' house, and that was good enough to when I wanted to do some extracurricular movements, because the gym was way closer. It was way closer. It was about 20 minutes away, 25 tops, no traffic. It was great. But I started with a bench, as you see behind me there, and that squat rack still have it. It's a little rusty just from like being outside in the weather, but it was fantastic. It works. It does a majority of what I need or what I needed. And another huge thing too is that he did include two trees, two of those little trees for the weights. And that was honestly a steal. I didn't even negotiate with him. I was like, dude, I'll pay full price, whatever you're asking, because that was huge. It was great. Still have them to this day. Huge, best purchase I've made so far. In a perfect normal world, you would be able to buy a lot of these weights on Craigslist, maybe on, OfferUp, Let Go is a lot of those different sites. The Neighborhood app, Facebook Marketplace, highly recommend those. Currently, with everything that's going on, the prices I've found on there are pretty expensive. They're selling it at a premium because everybody knows the gyms are currently closed. A lot of the gyms are currently closed. So a lot of people are making the home gyms. So that might not be in your best interest to look. It does take a lot of time to find some good deals, but overall, what I found the most, some of the best quality out there, to be honest, an affordable price. Usually, I get all of my stuff from thefitnessarmory.com. They're not sponsoring this video, but all of it was very fairly priced. I looked around and everything was pretty much more expensive than what they had. There's probably 2 to 3 different websites out there that sell to people who are doing home gyms or CrossFit gyms, things like that. But this one was where I actually got my barbell, and I almost killed myself right there. So that's something where you definitely have to look and keep looking for good deals. Black Friday was going on, and they were having some blowout sales. 35% off mats. The ones I'm standing on currently, I got from the Fitness Armory as well. And I believe the mats were about, one mat was about $55, if I remember. And that's a 4x8 mat. It's a horse mat, horse stall mats, if you want to look it up. Another buy that I got from actually Amazon are those blue mats behind me there. And those mats, those are like crash mats, crash pads, were recommended from a friend of mine, and that was actually $198. So I definitely do not feel comfortable dropping from overhead to those pads, because as you saw a couple of seconds before, just dropping them from half a squat position, just kind of ricocheted back into me. So anytime I do anything that's considered close to a max, I would say, definitely would probably stick to the gym at this point until I build a platform. And I actually see platforms going online for about $100 or so, but I want to see if I can make one, because they're probably way cheaper to make. You just have to get to it. So I would say my overall experience at the Fitness Armory was 4 out of 5. I would rate it 5 out of 5, but the shipping just took a very long time. But guess what? That was completely out of the ordinary for them. And because of everything that was going on, everybody had shipment issues. And they were super transparent about it, super cool about it. They emailed updates. They had an Instagram, which they updated actually lot numbers on what was expected to be shipped. And it did take like 12 weeks or something crazy, but it was definitely worth it, because everything that I have that you see right there is enough to do all the movements, all the squats, all the bench, all the deadlifts, all the drop snatches, everything. And I would say rough math was this is probably under $800 or so. And this was over an accumulation of, I would say 3 years or so. And most of the stuff that was added within a year combined cost about $500 or so. I would say, again, realistically, this minimalistic setup, including the Easy Up, would probably be under $1,000. And that's definitely, I ran into a lot of bargains, but I would say going from completely new, 100% possible. Well, guys, I hope that helps you get your journey started on making your own minimalistic gym setup. And again, I'll leave those links down below. Hopefully you can get maybe a better deal than I could, and hopefully you can get started as soon as possible, because I would say this is probably the best investment you can ever make, and all this equipment is going to last you for years and years, hopefully decades. Until next time, guys, I'll see ya.